Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. Tonight I'm going to keep it fairly simple. Tonight I'm going to fulfill a request by a girl named Marciella Di Magrisci in Italy. Okay, we started talking a few months back about Italian food, and she thought that I was rather well informed about Italian food. We started talking about dishes that she told me even native Italians weren't even aware of, and I thought that was very complimentary. And she said, you know what, I'll send you a couple of recipes of pasta dishes as to how we really do it here in Italy. Not the Italian-American way that we do it in, say, New York, where I'm from, or Boston, Philly, Jersey, or any place like that. But the true way an Italian wife or Italian mama would make particular dishes in the kitchen in Italy. And so the first recipe she sent me was for a dish called Ragu Alla Bolognese, okay, or Bolognese as we call it in America sometimes, okay. Now, I've seen Italian-American chefs just kill this dish using anywhere from 4, 5, 6 different kinds of meats, and come to find out that is not the way it is done in the north of Italy. So she said, here it is, okay. So I want to thank Marciella Di Magrisci con gusto, with gusto, okay? And I'm going to leave a link to her channel, and I'm going to leave a link to her blog, and that's what I'm going to make tonight. Ragu alla Bolognese, Ragu alla Bolognese, okay? The northern Italian way, the way Marciella Di Magrisci makes it back home in Italy. I'm sure you're going to love it. I know I love it. And as usual with YouTube, let's get going, and I'll see you on the other side. The first flavor layer of this Bolognese sauce is the holy trinity of your aromatics. Carrots, celery, onion. And I know that this looks like a lot of carrots, celery, and onion, but believe me, it's going to sweat down, okay? It's going to sweat down and reduce in size. And what I'm looking for is to get these vegetables, this mirepoix, or mirepoix, depending on the dialect you're speaking, the holy trinity of aromatics. I'm looking to get this stuff browned up a little bit. Now, getting the aromatics to brown is going to be different for everybody depending on your stove and depending on what kind of pan you're using. I'm using a Cuisinart 5.5 quart low-level Dutch, and it will probably brown the veggies quicker than some other high-walled pots or pans. But you know, what you want to do is you want to get that aromatic veggies, you want to get them golden brown, 10 minutes, 20, in some cases even 30. Just get them brown, and then we move on to the next step. At this point, my aromatics, the carrots, the celery, and the onions, are just starting to get brown. So what I'm going to do is add flavor layer. A little bit of black pepper. And you can do this to taste. I happen to like a lot of black pepper. Okay. A little bit of black pepper. And a little bit of lightly ground sea salt in this salt grinder that I have. Now that might look like a lot of salt, but believe me, we're going to have about 6 quarts of sauce here. So really, this is not a lot of salt and pepper. Okay, the salt will help to allow the aromatics to reduce and lose more of their water to turn brown, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And then we're going to move on to the next step of adding some meat into this sauce. So my aromatics have started caramelizing. If you look closely, you'll see that there's brown bits on the bottom of the pan and on the side of the pan, and they've just started lightly browning. I don't want to dark brown them, but I wanted them to get brown. Okay, now I'm going to move them over a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my meat. Okay, now this is a combination of ground veal, ground pork, and bacon lardoons, or lardons, okay? I will have a full recipe for this in my description. Okay. I will explain how to make the bacon lardoons or the bacon lardons. But right at this point, here's the meat for the dish. A lot of people might not know this, but when it comes to Italian cooking, bolognese sauce, or bolognese as we call it in Brooklyn, New York, bolognese, okay, ragu alla bolognese, that's the quintessential meat sauce, okay? That is the quintessential meat sauce out of all other Italian meat sauces. This is going to be lovely, so stick around, we're almost done. So, the meat and the aromatics have been cooking for about 25-30 minutes, and I'm going to add some red wine, okay? About 2 cups. There we go. About 2 cups of red wine, okay? Like I said, the recipe will be in the description box, okay? Now, I'm going to add this red wine, and I'm going to let this simmer for a few minutes, just like so, okay? Going to let that wine deglaze any of the brown bits on the bottom that I'm scraping off. And also, I'm going to let that red wine reduce because I want to cook off the alcohol. I don't want the alcohol, I just want the flavor. So that's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes of simmering. And then I'm going to move on to the next step of making this really, really excellent bolognese sauce. Okay, so this bolognese has been cooking for about 20 minutes or so, and I'm going to add some meat broth, beef. You could use chicken, you could use veal, you could use beef broth, it doesn't matter. Any kind of meat broth you want to use. Okay. You add that meat broth, and you raise the heat to high. Bring it to a boil for about 10. Yeah, you bring it to a boil, and then you reduce it to a simmer for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to move on to the next step. All right. I'm going to add another flavor layer, a little more black pepper. There we go. Just a little more black pepper. There we go. There we go. And a little bit of salt. Mix that in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you right now that a proper Italian bolognese or bolognese, this ain't no diet food, okay? This here is all the way live comfort food, okay? All right, so I'm gonna let this cook now for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to move on to the next step of creating a lovely bolognese sauce. Okay, now I'm going to add my tomato sauce. Oh, it's going to be lovely. Tomato puree. There we go. There we go. Lovely. Now I'm going to mix that in. I'm going to let that sit just like that for about a minute or so. And then I'm going to add some tomato paste. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Some tomato paste. I'm going to get every last bit. There we go. There we go. So, I've added some pureed tomato and some tomato paste. Okay. And I'm going to slowly mix this in. There we go. There we go. I'm going to slowly mix in the puree. I'm going to slowly mix in the paste. It'll dissipate into this sauce. There we go. Oh, lovely. It's just smelling so good in here, it's ridiculous. There we go. Now I'm going to keep this on low and I'm going to simmer it for about 30 minutes. And I'll get this to reduce. And then I'm going to add some milk. Okay, and this bolognese is going to come together famously. So the bolognese to this point has been simmering for about 2.5 hours. And all the flavors have begun to marry, really marry. And here I am. I'm going to add 2 cups. Oh gosh, here we go. I'm going to add 2 cups. 100% whole milk. Okay. And I'm going to mix it in. Oh my God. There we go. All the meat, all the spices, the veggies, the pois, foie, however you want to say it. Oh, there we go. Oh my God. Okay. All right, so I've had this sauce simmering for at least 2 hours, and I've added the milk, and now with the milk, I'm going to let it simmer for about another 2 hours, and I'm going to let the sauce reduce and concentrate and let those flavors just marry. Oh my God. Okay, there it is. This here's my Ragu Alla Bolognese, and I'm going to let it simmer for about another hour or two, and I'm going to cook up some spaghetti, and then we're going to plate up. I'm actually going to make some bucatini, and so I'm going to let this simmer on another burner, and I'm going to make some bucatini, and then I'm going to have dinner, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay. So, the bolognese sauce is ready. Oh my God. Look at this. Thick, rich, delicious meat sauce. Look at this. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. The vegetables, the carrots, the onions, the celery, the Holy Trinity. Okay. Then the meat, the veal, the pork, the bacon. Oh my God. Okay, here it is. The bolognese is ready. Okay, now I'm going to let this simmer for about another 30 to 45 minutes, and I'm going to cook the pasta in another pot while this reduces, and this bolognese is going to be absolutely delicious, and then I'm going to plate up. Oh my God, it smells so good in here. It's ridiculous. Okay, at this point, the bolognese, the sauce bolognese is done. Okay, and I'm just cooking some bucatini pasta. Okay, I'm reducing the sauce just a little bit more, but for all intents and purposes, this bolognese is done. Okay, guys, there we have it. Ragu alla Bolognese, okay, from Marciella Di Magrisci con Gusto from northern Italy. This looks delicious, and it's time for me to eat because I am really hungry. I want to thank you for stopping by. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Okay, there it is. Okay. Pasta Ragu Alla Bolognese with the gorgonzola topping. Just delicious. I've been waiting for this all night. I'm so hungry. I gotta eat. I hope you guys make this, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.